Hey guys, and welcome back to Live Well and Yoga, a health and wellness podcast. I'm your host, Christine Demal. I hope you guys had a wonderful holiday and spent some time with family and friends. Even if it was a solo holiday for you, I hope it was a good one. Hope you found some peace and maybe some time to relax or just have a good time. It was a relaxed one for me. During this time between Christmas and New Year's, I do like to reflect on the past year, but I also like to think of things I want to accomplish for the new year. But this time around, um, I'm really big on energy, so I truly want to start off my year with abundant energy, with a sense of clarity, yet still have an open mind. I feel like having this clarity sets the foundation for, at least for me, sets the foundation for the year. Of course, life throws its curveballs and anything can happen, but how I start my year truly starts with my energy, and from my energy, I feel like things will unfold for me, but it's what I'm bringing to the table. So for 2025, I want to start with clarity but have an open mind, but also with boundaries and just eye on the prize, baby, because this year it's going to be your year, it's going to be my year, and I truly feel, I'm sure you're on your own self-care journey, but I truly feel that 2025 is a year of abundance and a year of self-love and just fulfilling a dream, starting a project or whatever it is. It's going to be that kind of year. So that's what I'm setting the tone for 2025. It's going to be a year of just abundance, success, and just truly giving back and all the things that, when people say you deserve so much more, doing all that for myself. So that is how I want to start the year. And what has helped me, or at least given me that motivation, I've been listening to podcasts and Matthew Hussey's podcast, especially, just which is more based on relationships. And I really feel like it stems in different areas of your life. Just when you give back to yourself, that self-love, it truly reflects on what you're putting out into the universe. When you give back to yourself, things just unfold for you. I know I've said that millions of times, but another thing that I reflected on, not only on podcast, is this book right here that I self-published a couple years ago. This is on Amazon, and it's called Break Up to Make Up a New You by me. And even though it's Break Up to Make Up a New You, it doesn't, at first it was all about relationships and how to find yourself after a breakup, but I discovered that finding yourself not just after a breakup, but maybe after stepping away from a friendship that doesn't align, maybe a job that doesn't align. I think this is falling. I had this problem before. Is it just me or is it really falling? Okay. I wrote this book because through self-help and self-love and just personal development, you truly can find your authentic self past a relationship, maybe stepping out of a friendship or whatever it may be, maybe even just bad habits. If you're looking for a reminder or maybe a sign, maybe just a note to self, maybe this will be relevant and relate to you. If not, that's okay too. But I thought to share some things from the book because it's just a little reminder to myself that we are doing the best that we can do, and you are valuable and deserving of all the things that you want to accomplish in this world. So the book is called Break Up to Make Up a New You, and you can find it on Amazon. Let me just read the back, just a little introduction. Break Up to Make Up a New You is a self-help book for those who want to step away from substandard behavior and step towards what aligns with the mind, body, and spirit. Through self-reflection, you'll reconnect with parts of you that got lost along the way and reveal the abilities that you don't even know exist. It's time to throw away the victim card, acknowledge your behaviors, and face the inabilities you've disguised so well. Under a guarded soul is an authentic version of yourself yearning to meet the world. It's time to break up to make up a new you. And so it's not necessarily breaking up from a relationship. It could be stepping away, like I said, from, an outgrown friendship, maybe just from bad habits. But in the end, you're ultimately rediscovering yourself, maybe even redefining your self worth, redefining your value, reprioritizing yourself. So let's begin, shall we? It's kind of like a book club. I'm just going to read the intro, just part of it. Okay. I once envied the girl who had enough of the broken promises and untold truths when hope and faith had run their course. The battlefield was all too familiar, and her pain resonated with me. The difference between us was that she recognized wishful thinking was a cover up for unacceptable behavior and had the courage to let go. She made a breakup and its sadness seem easy. I was envious that she figured it out, or at least believed she could. Though pain reflected in her eyes, what I admired was the power of self love in her soul. Relationships brought out the worst and best in me. I reached a low point when I dated bad boys. I really did. And reached my best when I stepped away. I really did. As most predicted, and while my spirit interjected, the honeymoons were short lived. These relationships heightened my insecurities, and the aftermaths rerouted my path. There was no manual or YouTube video on how to deal with a breakup, anxiety, and where to go from there. If there was, I didn't have the energy to find it. I felt real and raw emotion. So again, this book is based on personal experiences and what I've in my reactions to just different situations and events, and really dug into self-awareness and in my role in a relationship or a friendship, and even within myself. So I learned a lot through self-discovery. It's really mind-blowing on how much you could, heal from self-care and self-love, but truly believing that you deserve to feel that is the first step. If you are going through a breakup at the moment, this book isn't necessarily about breakups, but if you are going through one, this might be relevant. A breakup is an opportunity to learn about your external self, your likes and dislikes. Consequently, a breakup can help you look inward to find the clarity. It's time to take ownership of your actions and stop redirecting blame. Achieved maturity and selflessness is reached when you understand why even the good ones can't stay. These days, when a friend shares that she broke up with a partner, an incompatible, insignificant partner, I may add, my first reaction is to give her a high five and pop a bottle of champagne. It's like a celebratory moment because she took a step to reunite with her true self, rather than living through the falsities designed by a relationship. Though empathy crosses my mind, I feel her strength and anticipate her growth. It's a familiar feeling, and there's light at the end of the darkness. Breakups are painful, but feeling stuck is dispiriting. Know that there's bliss after the pain, and it's quite rewarding. However, to earn the prize, there's a process. Unfortunately, a chance card won't help you skip ahead, the part where it hurts, the part most people feel. The unknown is where you discover who you really are and realize your true value. Dynamics and expectations change what you Dynamics and expectations change, and what you deserve will manifest into your life. The energy of your thoughts, beliefs, and values corresponds to what surrounds you. It's up to you to set the bar. So it's so true. You have to set your own bar, because if you allow others to set your bar, it may be capped. You don't want someone else to control your capacity. It's up to you to set your foundation and set the bar and set the boundary for yourself, because how you treat yourself is how others will treat you, number one. So let's jump ahead to, there's so much to share in here, but I did highlight some things in here, so I'm just gonna jump to whatever I highlighted. Don't know what chapter this is, but we're just gonna go with it. Our world's communities and neighborhoods evolve year after year, while the simplicity of how to live a deserving life hasn't changed that much. However, The piling layers of societal judgments, cultural expectations, and our own insecurities are what makes it difficult to see that a deserving life is at arm's reach. Unbiased conversations will surface your behaviors, emotions, and cyclic patterns. Words of wisdom will guide you towards what makes you feel alive. When you build upon these strengths, an energy of realization will come to life. I hope to help you meet your true, authentic self, which lies just beneath the hover of your fears. She's there, waiting to meet the world. Pay attention to her. Disconnect from how you see yourself associated with a job title, a role in a partnership, friendship, and find gratitude in your uniqueness, creativity, and what you as an individual can offer. Letting go doesn't close the doors, it'll open the ones you can't see and create the space for self growth. And it's so true because, just for example, if you're going through a breakup and it just feels lonely and there's that void, right? The easiest thing is to revert back to what gave you happiness, that gave you joy. If you can find the strength to maybe just sit in that discomfort, because in that discomfort, you'll surface a desire for something, right? A desire to create, a desire to grow, maybe a desire to just work on yourself and self care. But when you can sit in that discomfort, that's the part where you'll find energy to meet yourself. It's like this spark of energy that exudes, but it wouldn't have happened unless you stepped away. And not to say that what relationship was a bad one or whatever. You know, I'm not saying you stepped away from like a toxic relationship or anything like that. It could just be something that didn't align with you, and it could be hard to step away because maybe there was an expectation or hope or whatever it is. But when you step away and there's that feeling of loneliness and a void, sit in that discomfort, and what will surface to the table is a sense of creativity, and maybe it's a passion project you've been wanting to start. So when those feelings come to life, really dive into that. Use that, you know, transform that sadness into positive energy and put it towards, a goal for the new year. Maybe put it towards that passion project or maybe a workout that you've been wanting to do. But when you can find yourself in that empty space, that's where the magic truly happens. Okay, so moving along. So let's skip ahead. I didn't highlight this part, but it just stood out to me, and so we're just going to read this here. The book It's Up to You by Zagar Kondrel is based on the practice of self-reflection. Its author gives an eye-opening perspective of how we keep abreast in this pick-and-choose world. In a world that's constantly in a state of change, the ego would like us to believe that everything is permanent, says Kondrel. Your true self lives in a transitory state, like a mediator unattached to emotional grief or joy. It's where the ego cannot survive. The ego thrives on emotions, whether it feels pain, sadness, happiness, excitement, or love. The true self, the wise mind, shines beneath the surface. It's a witness to your reality. The ego exerts itself for the mere need to preserve its self-importance. When you allow the ego to flourish, the wise mind takes a step back, Kondrel states. We become like a homeless prince, a monarch who lives like a vagabond, unaware of his own inheritance. Our wise mind, like our shine, truly is just right beneath the surface. It's covered with maybe layers of fear, judgment, and that's speaking from experience, fear, judgment, or maybe bad experiences. And so it's just right underneath the surface. And, ways to give back to yourself is truly becoming self-aware. And I think one of the ways to become self-aware is to self-care and self-love. And that's how you could really redefine your value and bring it back to life, because you are a valuable little butterfly. Okay, so let me see. I noted some other things in here, but they're not highlighted. Oh, well, this chapter is called A Digital World. Okay. This one has to do with dating. Has dating lost its authenticity? I'm not sure how pure it was pre World Wide Web, but its originality is a lost soul, says the girl who hasn't looked in the right places. One could argue dating apps make it convenient to meet people, says the person who doesn't have time to go out due to their 80-hour work week, is a fan of Netflix and chill on a Saturday night, and claims their best friend met their fiance on an app so they would try it too. All this included on their honeybee profile. Your potential future plus one has forewarned you that they might be able to squeeze you into their hectic schedule, lack socialization, and suggest if their best friend jumped, they would too. To those who have met their significant other online, I'd like to know the secret of finding a needle in a never ending piling haystack, or call me good luck Chuck. Though I'm not deterring you from dating apps, where is the genuine intent? Click, click, and swipe. All this aside, we may have digital dating all wrong. What you give is what you get. Dilly dally. It takes courage to put yourself in the dating world, whether you've been dating for a while or this is a fresh start. An abundance of emotions is involved. Your actions are telling. You have decided to date online. This is a big step. You create an account, post images of yourself in the best light, answered the prompts, and now it's time to find your future plus one. However, you archive each person you come across, too short, too tall, too full of themselves, or feel out of their league. The next person you meet may not be the last person you meet. They may be the stepping stone in the sincerest way needed to find yourself. You can get to know yourself through these connections, even in a digital dating world. Next time you come across a potential plus one who may not be yay high or have a photo of them in the wild, but you find their answers to the prompts interesting, take a chance. If it isn't a match, just know that little step forward will heighten your vibration and make the next move a bit easier. It's like you're building the foundation for the next page. Um, Meeting people just is a way to get to know yourself. It just gets you out there. Um, I have no other comment than try it and see it for yourself, because you can get to know yourself through meeting new people, new experiences, and you can learn from so many things. The first person you meet may not be the last person you meet, and most likely it won't be the last person you meet. And if things don't work out, it's just, I read somewhere that the universe won't align you with the right person if you aren't ready. So it'll allow you to learn more about yourself and what you need to work on if things just don't work out. Let's see. So this I did highlight, and we're just going to continue on with breakups and relationships. Okay, here we go. Breakups are heartbreaking. It takes strength to listen to the soul, to recognize that something isn't right for you. Also takes courage to move on. There are people who live their lives for someone else's happiness. If your ex fits your perfect picture and is truly a great person with genuine intent, it's easy to attach to the idea of who they are. Outsiders envied the relationship. Parents loved how great you two looked together. However, the soul craves something more. Others might settle, unaware that their true compatible partner is right around the corner. It isn't always clear why the good ones must go. If the breakup is mutual, at least the two of you are on the same page. Just know that everything in life is temporary, including a breakup. This break could be a pause. The current energies didn't allow for growth, at least together. The universe understands that a break allows both of you to grow on your own terms. This could take months to years. The idea is to be a better person for yourself rather than for the relationship. You could bypass your potential if you solely focus on adjusting your needs to make the relationship work. Either way, this break is a sign to focus on you and your dreams. And that's really true. Like, you really want to focus on you, work harder on yourself than you do on the relationship. You don't want to mold yourself to be a perfect partner. You want to become a best version of yourself so then you can align with someone who matches your energy or who does align with you too, that brings out the best in you. So working on you will attract you to the right partner versus working on a relationship and maybe even dimming your light or maybe stepping on your own boundary in order to make it work. You don't want to do that. That doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good for the soul. And you never know, working on yourself, down the road you could always reconnect, or maybe you can meet someone else, a future plus one who aligns with you. Either way, working on yourself is key than working on the relationship. Of course, if you're in the relationship and you want to make it work, like if you're in a marriage and you want to make it work, then sure, work on the relationship. But if this is actually, I take that back. I've never been in a marriage, but I think working on you is the best thing that you could do. Work on yourself, and if they work on themselves and you two come together and reconnect, it'll be a different dynamic. It'll be a healthier dynamic based on strength versus need. It won't be based on filling a void. It'll be based on, just strength and adding happiness to each other's life versus being the happy, versus being the point of happiness in someone's life, if that makes sense. So yes, work on you because you need to do you, boo. Oh, speaking of that, this one says, do you and I'll do me. That's a quinkadink. Okay. Quotes are like little notes to self. It also reassures me that I'm not alone, that someone else has been through the same bullshit. Not that I wish sadness upon anyone, but the life lesson learned from a painful experience is an inspiration. When I come across quotes, I sometimes wonder what the author endured to write such a relatable message. One of my favorite quotes by Friedrich Nietzsche, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, is, "One must still have chaos in oneself to be able to give birth to a dancing star." The idea that at our worst, we are capable of muffling through the sadness and darkness, which is the chaos, with your own abilities fueled by desperation to find normalcy, self-growth is invited. During the journey, you'll feel new emotions built internally. During the journey, you'll find new emotions built internally. Heightened confidence and self-love will surface. You'll see that you have the choice and that you don't have to settle with what stepped in the way. And that's true. Like, in just times of sadness or darkness, an energy surfaces and comes to the table in order for you to see the light. Stop dimming your own light. Like, you have the shine. The shine is there. You just have to stop dimming your light and be authentically you, because you are a shining star. And that begins with redefining your value and self-love. All right, so let's continue on. So I'm going to skip to the last chapter. Sorry if you guys haven't read this, but it's okay because it's been out. Maybe you guys have. So let's just jump to the last chapter, which is called You Are Beautiful. I once envied the beautiful girl, her flawless skin, golden hue, and hair that swooshed like a Sunday breeze. She soaked up the California sun and didn't allow yesterday's sorrow predict her future. She was left only to find its meaning, an inner beauty projected through vulnerability. Her passion to create from the unknown and gratitude for life was admiring. She found the answers through adversity and reinvented herself beyond what they imagined. Not every aspect of her world is perfect, but she found beauty in the imperfections. That hover she had endured for most of her adult life swooped away with the wind. She finally let go. I finally became me. And when I wrote this book, it was just through personal experience and really finding myself through self-growth and personal development, and just truly finding what aligns with me and my spirit. And through that self journey, it was like a light flashed before me, just healing through certain traumas, overcoming painful experiences, but once you can, truly find yourself in the aftermath of, a breakup, a relationship, letting go of a friendship that doesn't align, there's going to be a void. There's going to be that space because now if you stepped away from it, you made room for, something else. And, rather than fulfilling it with temporary gratification, fulfill it with something long term. Fulfill it with something that really speaks to your soul. Give back to yourself. That's where it begins. And when you give back to yourself, that's when you redefine your value. You elevate yourself, you elevate your life. You'll attract new friendships, attract what aligns with you. And, this was just a reminder to myself and a really great way to reconnect with me again because I want to bring that energy into 2025. And hopefully, I'm hopeful for the future, the near future, and just really focusing on me and the goals that I have for myself. And this podcast, of course, I would love to post more videos in 2025 and hopefully have more guests and have some chats about living well in life and, just living a positive life with abundance. And, I'm really big on personal growth. So would love to chat about personal growth and really feeling the spirit from within and just shining from the inside out because that's what people see and that's what people attract to. And it just feels good inside when you can really feel healthy and just shine from within. That's where the real beauty is, just from the inside out. So that's all I have for this episode. This is my book, Breakup to Make Up a New You, and you can find it on Amazon. I posted it when I first self-published it, but I really didn't, advertise it or share it as much as I probably should have. You kind of write something and then kind of tuck it under the bed. But I really feel, well, this was my therapy, and I hope, first of all, I hope you're not going through a painful experience. But if you are, because breakups or just ending a friendship or bad habits or whatever it is, it does feel, there is a discomfort and there is light at the end of the tunnel. And I hope to help you find that because you are deserving and you bring so much uniqueness into this world. You just have to redefine it and rediscover yourself in this aftermath. So that's all I got. So anyways, if you guys have any questions, any comments, please leave them in the message down there below. And until next time, you guys, live well in yoga. I hope you guys have a happy new year. Be safe and be well. Bye, guys. 3, 2, 1. Hey, guys, and welcome back to Live Well in Yoga, a health and wellness podcast. I'm your host, Christine DeMaul. This is a test, and just want to make sure this is filming, not blurry, and the sound is good. Test 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. This is Christine DeMaul, your host of the Live Well in Yoga podcast.